Sean is on his flight to South Korea for a week-long business trip. He works at the BI Pharma and was recently assigned a project in South Korea where the company was manufacturing a new drug. This project was a big opportunity for Sean. But he was leaving with a heavy heart. He thought his girlfriend Michelle would be with him. He thought he would propose to her in South Korea. But right before the trip, they broke up. The day Sean had gotten his hands on this assignment, he bought the ring and was hoping he would soon surprise Michelle. But when he met her, she had a surprise waiting for him too. I have good news. Really? Me too. Okay, you go first. Alright, I got assigned a big project by BI Pharma and they're sending me to South Korea for a week. We can go together. It'll be like a paid vacation. The smile on Michelle's face suddenly vanished. What? What? You're not happy for me? Sean, I got a modeling opportunity with BI Secrets. I'll have to go to Venezuela for the shoot. If this goes well, it'll jumpstart my career. Oh, then how about I take a flight to Venezuela from South Korea? No, you can't do that. Why? Sean, we have to take a break from each other. What? It was part of the modeling contract. I can't be in a relationship while I'm working with them. So, you're choosing your career over us. Are we breaking up? No, we're not breaking up. It's just some time away. I can't let them get suspicious of me. No, Michelle, this is a breakup. This isn't even a long-distance relationship. Sean, I can't let this opportunity go. So that means you've made up your mind. After a 3-year relationship, Sean and Michelle broke up, just days before the flight, just days before Sean would have proposed to her. Landing in South Korea, Sean managed the ride to his hotel. It had already been booked by BI Pharma. However, the location was quite far and isolated. Near the mountainside in Jungsun-ri. The small town was beautiful and serene. Getting off the car, Sean stared out to the riverside a distance from the hotel. All he could think about was Michelle. If only Michelle were with him. But now, she would never be. Welcome to Jungsun-ri. Hi, I'm Sean Lehman. I have a booking from BI Pharma. Yes, Mr. Lehman, right this way. After freshening up, Sean lay in bed feeling so depressed and low. He had no appetite, nor could he sleep and forget all that had happened. A couple hours into anxiously roaming in his memories, Sean went out to the lobby. Mr. Lehman, is there anything I can help you with? I was just wondering, how far is the riverside from here? Is it safe to walk around? Yes, it's a moderately safe area. There aren't any dangers of wild animals either, but it's quite a tangled route. Tourists often get lost. It's best you go out in the morning. Alright, thank you. Sean took a seat in the lobby, trying to occupy himself, but a while later, he decided to go out anyway. The weather was soothing, the air was moist. There was a breeze in the air. The bamboo jungles around him shone in the light of the full moon. Reaching the riverside, Sean walked along the path, listening to the crickets chirp, following the light of the fireflies. It was a while into walking, however, Sean suddenly turned, feeling something swiftly move between the bamboo. That's when he vaguely caught sight of a white fox. He continued walking on, but again felt the same feeling as if he were being watched. And sure enough, he listened to the rustle of the leaves as he caught sight of the white fox again. Is it following me? As Sean searched the jungles around him, he suddenly heard a cry. It sounded like an animal. Following it, Sean noticed a deer. Its leg was trapped in some thorny vines as it scampered to get loose. "You're stuck. Don't worry, I'll get you out." Sean took out his pocket knife and carefully cut through the vines, setting the deer free. "Hold on, you injured your leg." Taking his handkerchief, Sean tied it around and helped the deer get on its legs. And as soon as it did, it galloped off into the jungles. Sean sighed, watching it disappear into the darkness. He looked at his watch. It was almost 1 a.m. I should head back. But to his dismay, when Sean looked around, he wasn't quite sure which way to go. And a while into walking, he felt all the more lost. And just then, a low drizzle began to pour. What now? Realizing going any further in the dark wouldn't be a good idea, Sean planned on spending a few hours by the bank, and perhaps, in the morning, he could figure his way out. Listening to the sound of the water flowing, Sean headed on his way to the riverside. "Are you lost? I've never seen you before. Are you new here?" Sean flinched to the voice of a woman behind him. He turned, shocked to see a young woman just a few steps away. She looked like she was from here. She was beautiful. "Sorry if I scared you." "No, it's alright. And yes, I'm not from around here. I was staying at the Jungsunri Hotel. I thought I'd come out for a walk and I lost my way." "I can see that. But what are you doing out here at this time?" "I live nearby. I'm Sung. My house is just a walk down the riverside. But how will you return?" "Edward. And I was planning to follow the riverside, or maybe just wait it out for sunrise." "In this drizzle? There's a long night to go, mister. If you want, you can come over to my house." "No, it's okay. I'll manage." "I wouldn't mind. And if you were wondering, I do live by myself." "No, I was actually enjoying the weather, was feeling suffocated indoors. Really? Or are you just afraid to spend the night alone with me, in my house? Are you married? Seeing anyone? Sean looked at the young woman as she chuckled. Actually, I recently went through a breakup. After 3 years, we were supposed to come here together. I was going to propose, but she left you. It's complicated. Actually, it's simple. What do you mean? She doesn't love you. If she loved you, she would have been here. Sean sighed as he stared into the water flowing gently. Maybe you're right. Then what's stopping you? Shall we go? Looking at the young woman, Sean thought to himself, she was right. Why was he hesitating? He needed to get things off his mind. He needed to forget Michelle. All right, let's go. Sung smiled as she ushered Sean. It's this way. But as he got up to follow her, he suddenly heard the sound of footsteps rushing down the bank. He turned to see another young woman anxiously looking at him as she ran towards him. No, Sean, don't go with her. Go back. If you follow the river down east, you will reach the hotel. Sean, Michelle didn't choose her career over you. She truly loves you. Sean was utterly confused as he stared at this woman he had never seen before. But that was when Sung turned to stare at her. You? The young woman looked at Sean. Her last words. Run! Run? Sean looked at Sung, suddenly transform her face, her body, her hair into a white fox. And at once, the young woman too transformed into a deer, both ready to attack. But after what Sean had witnessed, in fear, he ran down the riverside. He didn't have the courage to look back, nor stop for a breath, until he reached the hotel and nearly collapsed. Seeing him, the receptionist hurried out to help him. Mr. Lehman, are you okay? What happened? There were 2 women. She turned into a fox, and the other, she turned into a deer. Fox? A kumiho? They're the ancient spirits of fox, who roamed these jungles for thousands of years. They transform into beautiful women and seduce men, feast on their hearts. Then, who was the deer? Mr. Lehman? Mr. Lehman! Sean woke up in the hospital. He still felt dazed after what he experienced. Was it all a dream? What happened last night? As Sean struggled to sit up, he was startled by a voice. You're awake. Michelle got up from the sofa and rushed towards him. Michelle, when did you get here? As soon as I got news you were in the hospital, I took a flight here. What did you think? I'd still be shooting in Venezuela? I thought that was important to you. Is that what I said? I said if we meet, the company would have gotten suspicious. Someone could have even snitched. I didn't want to lose my chance at a career. Did I say I wanted to break up with you? Did I say I'm not in love with you anymore? All right. Men. Sean and Michelle ended up getting back together, and after a long day at the hospital, they returned to the hotel. It's so beautiful here. Come on, let's go out for a walk. All right, but we'll be back before dark. Since when are you afraid of the dark? It's a long story. No, wait, this time me first. Something very strange happened with me. What? When I got to Venezuela with the rest of the girls, we booked into a beachside resort. It was completely isolated, and at first I assumed it was for the convenience of the shoot. But then I realized our manager had some bad intentions. We're going to shoot here? Yes. Beautiful location, beautiful woman. Perfect setup for a swimsuit photo shoot. He was always flirting with the girls, and the lecherous look he had in his eyes when he stared at us was disgusting. But we were all tolerating him for our job. But then, one night, he came to my room. Mr. Rogan, what are you doing here? What do you think I'm doing here? It's quite late. It's a long night, Michelle. Let's have a drink. Have a little fun. No, thank you. I think you should go to your room. You're not in your senses. Who do you think you are to say no to me? I gave you this opportunity. I brought you here. I paid for everything. Your future is in my hand. And you will do what I say. Excuse me? I don't have to listen to anyone. And you know what? You can keep your opportunity. I quit. That night, I just left the hotel. I felt so enraged and insulted. I couldn't stay there a moment longer. This is what I came here for? This is what I left Sean for? I walked out towards the shore. I didn't know where I was going, and it was so late I could barely see anything. And a distance away from the hotel, I suddenly tripped and hurt my leg. I got stuck under some vines and I couldn't get myself out. Help! Help! I called for help, but no one heard me. I didn't know what to do. But then, all of a sudden, I saw a deer. It walked up to me and pulled the vines out of the way. It helped me out and just ran off. Michelle? Are you okay? What are you doing out here? What happened to your leg? A while later, the girls came searching for me, and I had told them what happened. One of them, who was from the area, told me something really strange. It was the spirit of the deer woman. Sometimes she appears as a deer and sometimes as a beautiful woman. She helps those who have pure love in their hearts, where she seeks vengeance against those who disrespect the purity of love. Michelle chuckled as she told Sean her story. Strange, isn't it? But Sean was baffled. You saw a deer? Yeah. Sean, look over there. It was her spirit.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Anyone who knows James Evans knows he's adventurous, a little eccentric, and a bit into trouble all the time. Wow, this is gonna be one awesome selfie. Or not. James lived in the small town of Cape May in New Jersey, was a sophomore in high school, hung out with his buddies, and was all about enjoying his stress-free teen years to the fullest. Mrs. Evans, we're letting him go this time, but things won't always be like this. Thank you so much, Sheriff. I won't spare this boy this time. How many times have I told you, you got yourself arrested? Technically, no. I'm home. You're lucky your father was an officer. If he had only seen all the mischief you're always up to. Alright. Mrs. Evans went on and on, as she usually did whenever James got into trouble. But deep down, she knew James would soon be up to something again. But strange as it was, after that last incident, James didn't get into another mess. He seemed occupied with school and came home on time. What got into him? What got to James? A girl. She recently moved in with her family down the block. Was a senior in his school. The first time James saw her, he absolutely fell in love. She was the most beautiful girl he had ever laid his eyes upon. Hey, new neighbor? Yeah, and schoolmates. I've seen you at school. Yeah, I'm James. I'm Margaret Jackman. Call me MJ. Cool. Have you been around town? You should ride your bike on the beach boardwalk. It's awesome. To the beach? It's almost winter. Trust me, it's awesome in the winter, especially in the rain. Anyways, what's wrong with your bike? Just fixing it up a little. So you're beautiful and handy. Excuse me? You have some guts for a sophomore. Does it make a difference when it comes to love? I'm gonna make you my wife. A really little boy. Is it a challenge? Huh, sure. MJ was almost 3 years older than James. He was obviously just teasing around with her, right? Right? Wrong. Friend request from James Evans. Ever since MJ accepted that seemingly innocent friend request, her life became nothing but surprises. She woke up the next morning casually browsing through her newsfeed when she froze seeing a post from James on which he tagged her along with a bunch of their school friends. Big and bold on his status. Finally found the one, dating Margaret Jackman. October 2nd, 2010. Love you, babe. What? What? Dating Margaret Jackman? Since when? MJ immediately sent him a message. Why in the world would you write that on your status? Take it down. The heart posts what the heart wants to post. James, you better take that down. I never back out of a challenge. MJ went to school that day, pretty awkward as she stepped into the classroom. Everyone had probably seen it. What were they thinking? She was dating a 15-year-old? Luckily, no one pointed anything out. Until later that day, MJ bumped into James in the hallway. Hey honey, missed you so much this morning. As James casually walked into his class, MJ had to deal with a lot of woos from her classmates. You're dating him? No, it's nothing like that. We got a cougar here. James. MJ felt so embarrassed. Every time she crossed paths with him, James always called her out. At first, she looked on the bright side. This couldn't go on for long. He was gonna get over it, so she humored him. Hey babe, sorry I'm late. How about I make it up to you after school? Is it a date? A date? I would have loved that. But you still haven't got permission from your mommy to stay out late on school nights, have you, James? Good one. And then the secret notes and surprises started. MJ opened up her locker today when a whole bunch of love letters, confetti, and even a heart-shaped balloon popped out. How did he get that in here? Looks like you guys are hitting it off great. I wish I had a boyfriend like that. He's not my boyfriend. Why don't you just admit it? We all saw the pictures. What pictures? MJ found out James had been posting pictures of them he randomly took when she wasn't aware. Awesome date with my love. Dropping the girlfriend off home. James, are you serious? You have to stop. People are talking about me. No, people are talking about us. Babe, be honest to yourself. You're liking it. You've fallen in love with me. In your dreams, you're crossing the line, James. A lover's gotta do what a lover's gotta do. The start of the following week, MJ found out the school was hosting a fundraiser. Students would buy and gift each other flowers, and the money raised was sent to charity. It was an opportunity for secret admirers to open up or couples to be lovey-dovey. But MJ had no wishes to give nor receive anything. But come midday, when the staff came in with a bunch of flowers, she watched as the names were being called out. Stephanie, Nick, Lisa, Andy, and none for her. Phew. Or so she thought. The staff went back out and brought in a huge bouquet of flowers. And this one is for Margaret Jackman from James Evan. Is Margaret Jackman here? Margaret Jackman? MJ literally tried hiding herself sliding down in her seat with her hoodie, when her classmates of course had to point her out. It's for the cougar! Woo! Love is in the air! Oh, James. But things only got crazier from there. Sure, Margaret wasn't jerk enough to throw the flowers away, but that didn't mean she liked him. Margaret Jackman currently lives here, but she's supposed to live here with me, as we want to get married. Unfortunately, the government is coming in between our love. The government doesn't understand. Love is blind. Love has no age, color, no shape or size. Love has no limits. Support the cause. Hashtag underage marriage for lovers. This time, Margaret didn't have words. The next morning, when she went to school, she spotted James going around with a clipboard and getting something signed. By the end of the day, he even came to her classroom. Mrs. Collins, would you like to support the cause? I'm filing a petition to the City Hall for underage marriage for lovers. Is that so? And how many signatures would you need for that? Even a single signature counts. Anyone else want to support our love? You're filing a petition to the city hall? When will you sign it? Never, you're crazy. The next weekend, MJ was relieved to be home. Saturday morning, she walked down to the kitchen to have breakfast, but instead found her parents staring at her strange. Margaret, is there something you need to tell us, sweetheart? About what, Dad? Sweetie, if you're going through something, we want to be there for you. What are you guys talking about? With a sigh, her parents passed a long gift-wrapped box and a note. What's this? For the mother of my child? Inside was a twin stroller with the names MJ and James sewn onto it. This will come in handy when we have our twins. James. Mom, Dad, this is a prank. I'm not pregnant. Margaret, are you sure? Phases like this can be difficult, sweetheart, but you're our daughter. Your well-being is what matters to us. Oh no. Oh no. Mom, Dad, I'm serious. Margaret was starting to freak out. What am I going to do? It had been a few days since James had last sent MJ a gift that he suddenly noticed she had gotten really quiet. She stayed at home much of the time, she avoided him at school and ignored all his gigs. But finally, one evening, while James was returning home, he found her all alone by the boardwalk, trying to fix her bike. Need help? Please, James, just leave me alone. I don't need your help. All of a sudden, the rain started to pour heavily. All right, do it yourself, but take this. The days seemed to pass by, and MJ was still pretty pissed at him. She didn't respond to his texts or even talk to him. And soon enough, one day, James spotted her with some guy, laughing and talking with each other. What are you doing with my girlfriend? Your girlfriend? Aren't you a little too young to be dating her? James, stop it, not here. You, I'll talk with in private. I don't want to make a scene about our relationship in front of people. Relationship? What relationship? You know what? Meet me by the boardwalk at 6. We'll talk this out there. Now go. Alright, I'm leaving now. But I have my eyes on you. That evening, James rode to the boardwalk to find MJ waiting there. So what do you want to talk about? James, why are you doing all this? You know why. I love you. James, I've been humoring your jokes all this time, but you've literally made my life upside down. My parents are suspicious of me, everyone at school mocks me, calling me a cougar, and today, you know who that was? He was my boyfriend. Because of you, my real relationship is falling apart. So just stop. You're a 15-year-old boy, you don't love me, you're just infatuated. And this time, you're going to make up for what you did. You have to say sorry to him. Seeing how serious and upset MJ was, James fell silent. What? Okay. MJ was a bit nervous bringing Brad over to meet James. But the next day, they met and James genuinely apologized. MJ had never seen him so serious before. We really don't have anything, man. She's in love with you and only you. I was just messing with her. I'm sorry for treating you guys like that. It's cool, bro. You shouldn't have made him apologize to me. He's just a kid. He's not a kid. He knows what he's doing. MJ was still in doubt what James would truly stop. The following day, she hurried down to check her mail, but there was nothing there. She kept checking her locker at school, but no surprise notes. She waited for his BII book posts, but nothing about her. In fact, he had deleted all their old pics and posts. James was casually going on with his life, behaving as if she didn't exist. Why? Why was he behaving like that? As the days went by, MJ realized all she had been thinking of was James, waiting for one of his surprises, missing him. Two weeks since James had distanced himself from MJ, he suddenly got a friend request. MJ. He accepted it, and almost instantly, she tagged him on a selfie she took with him. When did she take this? When this boy will grow up, I'm going to marry him. And her status, dating James Evans, together forever, XOXO. When he went to school the next day, he opened up his locker to find it stuffed with notes and flowers. Here's your multi-tool, babe. Now I know how you got into my locker. The day actually went by pretty great. But when he got home, his mom was waiting for him, and she didn't look happy. James, what is this? What have you done? What? That girl down the street dropped this off. Tell me you didn't do this to her. I want an explanation, mister. James opened the box to find 3 matching shirts, except one was his size and the other 2 were newborn sized. Only the best boyfriends get promoted to husbands, and only the best husbands get promoted to dads. Got you and our twins matching outfits. I told you to stay out of trouble. I told you to stay out of trouble, James. Mom, it was a joke. It was a joke. A joke? You think becoming a father is a joke? James was a bit surprised by all the things MJ was doing. Why was she doing it? Was this all a joke? Or did she really mean it? It was raining out, but he took his bike out to the boardwalk and sat down to think things out. But a while later, he heard a strange rolling sound. You know how difficult it is to raise twins? MJ said, parking the twin stroller next to them. But I thought you didn't like me. And what happened to your boyfriend? First of all, he was never my boyfriend. He's my cousin. And about liking you? I don't know. Somehow, you got to me. And that's how Margaret and James found their special one.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
I've come to meet Mr. Charles Hoffman. The appointment is under the name. I don't have an appointment. Tell him Megan is here to meet him. All right, just 1 minute. Mr. Hoffman, there's a woman by the name Megan here to meet you.
Megan? I don't know any Megan. Don't allow any disturbances during my meeting.
Miss, Mr. Hoffman doesn't know anyone by this name. What? He doesn't know me? We've been dating for the past 4 months. How can he say that? Where is he? I have to talk to him right now. Excuse me, miss, you can't do this. Stop! Mr. Hoffman is in a meeting. Charles! Yes? I'm looking for Charles Hoffman. I am Charles Hoffman. What? You're Charles? I'm so sorry about the inconvenience, sir. Take her out. It's alright, it's alright. I'll leave on my own. That old man can't be Charles. Is Charles in some kind of trouble? Did he have to go underground? Ever since he took the money, he hasn't contacted me. What am I going to do now? I have to return all the money by the 15th. The diamond jewelry, the handbags, the gifts. Maybe I can raise the money with all this. How much will all this be? At best, I can give you 150. Okay. Here you go. $150? I thought you would give me $150,000. Look at this. This diamond necklace should at least be $80,000. This Irvine Laurent bag is $30,000, and this BII Rolex costs $15,000 at least. No, my dear. You can get a BII Rolex like this on the streets of Manhattan. It's a fake, no more than $35. This bag, also a fake. You can easily purchase it at Chinatown for $50. And this isn't a diamond. It's an imitation gemstone. But I must say, it looks very genuine. What? All these are fake? Charles gave me fake jewelry? Megan's boyfriend, Charles Hoffman, or rather, fake Charles, is actually a con artist. About 6 months back, he had started planning out this cunning scheme of his to make some good cash. And it all began with the real Charles Hoffman, partner of the multi-million-dollar company BI Corporation. Step 1. For weeks, the fake Charles spied on Charles, gathering information on him. Step 2. Fake Charles then found a suitable bank, and by suitable, meaning a bank with a vulnerable middle-aged single woman whom he could manipulate, Megan Collins. Megan Collins was working at a new branch of the BI Bank in a small neighborhood. And fake Charles made his way there and under the identity of Charles Hoffman asked to open a $500,000 business account. I want to open a business account? Yes, sir. Your name and the amount you would like to deposit? Charles Hoffman. Charles Hoffman of the BI Corporation? Correct. And the amount will be $500,000. Sure. Just one moment, sir. Megan, Mr. Charles Hoffman is here from BI Corporation. Charles Hoffman is so young? Mr. Hoffman, welcome to the BI Bank. This branch of ours recently opened. Please, call me Charles. Alright, Charles, I'm Megan, the manager here. I'll be assisting you in the entire process. But before I deposit the money, can I take a look at your security? Absolutely. Our bank has the best security across the nation. Megan then took fake Charles around and showed him the locker room and security system. Very good. You have a nice system here, but I never thought the manager of such a big bank would be so young and beautiful. Actually, I also never thought Mr. Charles Hoffman would be so young and handsome. And finally, Megan opened the account for him without much question seemingly knowing who he was. And fake Charles deposited his $100,000. The transaction is complete. Wonderful. And right before fake Charles was to leave, he completed the last and most crucial part of his plan: to bait Megan. Is there anything else I can help you with? How about dinner tomorrow night? Sounds nice. I'd love to. The following night, fake Charles took Megan out to dinner at a fancy 5-star restaurant, and they enjoyed the night. And that was the beginning of Megan's relationship with fake Charles. In the following months, fake Charles Hoffman bought her many expensive gifts. BI Rolex for me? A Saint Laurent handbag? Wow, this diamond necklace is so beautiful. And fake Charles took her to movies. Lots and lots of movies. Special screenings before the actual release. BI Justice League? BI Avengers? BI No Time to Die? BI No Way Home? Charles, how do you get tickets before the release? Well, these are special screenings for VIP people. And the days were passing by in fun. Fake Charles knew how to pamper women. But one night, on one of their dates, Megan noticed fake Charles was awfully worried. Charles, is everything alright? I'm just a little stressed. I have $1 million business deal tomorrow, and I still need to arrange the money. Everything was so sudden I wasn't able to transfer the money from my other account. I'll be withdrawing the $500,000 from this account, but even then, I'll be $300,000 short. Just that? $300,000? Charles, you have an excellent background and good credit. You can easily get a bank loan. No, it's an entire process, and I don't have the time to wrap myself in all of this. And besides, what are people going to think? My business partners would look down on me for taking a loan for just $3,100. But I immediately need cash. So what are you going to do now? I was thinking, how about instead of withdrawing $500,000, why don't you give me $800,000 so I can make the business deal tomorrow? And 2 days later, when I transfer the money from my Swiss account, I'll return the extra $300,000 to you. I don't know, Charles. The bank does an audit check twice a month, on the 1st and on the 15th. If you don't return before the 15th, I'll be in big trouble. You don't worry about a thing. So Megan arranged the $300,000 for fake Charles. But it was after that. He simply vanished. Neither did he contact her, or Megan could contact him. Tried calling him, went to his apartment, but there was no one home. And lastly, she went to the BI Corporation. After a lot of struggle, earning his engineering degree and starting his career at the BI construction company, Harry Bennett recently got assigned a big project. He was only 30 and his life was perfect. Except for one thing that had been missing his whole life. Harry has never been in a relationship because he has always been a little overweight. In his school and college days, he was a great student, a simple guy, but because he was overweight, he never built the courage to ask any girl out, or ever have a real girlfriend, or just simply be with a woman. But now that he was quite successful, somehow he built the courage to find himself that special someone, because now, even if his figure wasn't good, the figure he made yearly was very good. Mom, I've decided to settle in life. How are you going to settle in life when you can't even ask a girl out? Mom, I was busy chasing after my career. Alright, but beware, Harry. Now that you have all this money, a lot of girls will give you a lot of attention, but for the wrong reasons. I know, Mom. Your son might be fat, but he's very smart. No, son, you're not fat. You're unique in your own way, but you've always underestimated yourself by thinking you're fat. And now that you're making all this money, you're building up the wrong notion that you've become something great. You're still the same person. Understand who you truly are. Harry knew there was truth in what his mother said. So he took her advice into consideration and thought he would find himself a woman that actually liked him for him. Who has been nice to me even before this job? Lena from work? No. Anne from college? No. Wait, Belle. Yes, her. For the past year or so, Harry has been going to a coffee shop where he met a young woman who worked there named Belle. Belle has always been nice to him and always spoke to him with a smile. She had to be the one. So the next evening, Harry headed to the coffee shop to meet her. Harry, is it going to be the usual? Yes. Belle quickly brewed his coffee and got his bagel with a smile. Here you go. Is it okay if I ask you something? Yeah, sure. Can I have your number? Maybe we can go out sometime? Belle looked at him surprised. She didn't know what to say. All of a sudden, one of her co-workers, Eva, hurried and scribbled Belle's number on a tissue. Of course you can. Belle was actually asking about you this morning. Eva? Harry chuckled, seeing Belle nervous. I'll call you. Belle politely smiled, watching Harry go out the door. After which, she turned to Eva, shocked. What was that about? Why'd you give him my number? You didn't see his picture on the front cover of BII-Politan? He's working on constructing this big mall. The dude used to be rich, but now he's super rich. I was about to put him down, thanks. I almost lost this opportunity. Belle. She traveled to America on a student visa about 2 years ago. After which, she came to realize how tough life could be here. She was struggling to keep up with her tuition fees, her rent, her bills. She worked this part-time job at this coffee shop where she met Harry. The only reason she was nice to him was because he used to tip very well. But behind his back, she and Eva used to mock at him. Hey look, the hippo is here. Shh, you don't want him to hear us. I need my tip, okay? The hippo might move slow, but the hippo's hearing might be better. But now, none of that mattered because the hippo was super rich. Belle eagerly waited for his call, and the next Friday, they went on a first date at a really expensive restaurant. Is your name really Belle? It's short for Badia Anaya Liming Ikundayo. My friends call me Belle. After a great first date, second date, and finally, a third date, Harry and Belle were taking a walk by the lakeside. You want to go back to my place? I just finished the 3D models for the project. I can show it to you. Belle cringed just a little. Was this hippo trying to get funky with her? Harry, I know this is our third date and you have expectations, and I really like you, but I come from a very conservative family, and in my culture, we don't do things like this before marriage. I hope you don't mind. Oh, no, I understand. I meant no disrespect to your culture. It's okay. That night, Harry dropped her home, and Belle finally breathed out in relief, having gotten away from that awkward situation. Third date, huh? How'd it go? You guys got it on? What? I'm not gonna let that fat hippo touch me? I gave him the conservative family excuse. And you think you'll keep dating him and spending his money and he won't find out your long list of boyfriends? He won't. He's also a gullible hippo. Well, kudos to you. Make him more desperate. And if he marries you, you won't just be enjoying his money, but you can get a green card too. Meanwhile, Harry dropped by his mother's place. Mom, I met someone. You did? What's her name? What does she do? Belle. She's an international student. Oh, a foreigner. Be careful, Harry. She's probably dating you for your money. Mom, she's not like that. She's actually very conservative. Belle's plan was to land herself a jackpot, get a green card, and forget all her immigration troubles and live happily ever after. But while Belle was dreaming, so was Harry. He was getting desperate. I get we can't do it, but we can't even hold hands? Harry, it's tradition. Abstinence is something big amongst my people. The only way Belle would agree was if they got married. That wasn't a bad thing, was it? He loved her, she loved him. So, Harry bought a beautiful ring, set up a surprise special date, where he stooped down to his knees and asked, Belle, will you marry me? Seeing the whopping diamond on that ring, Belle had to say, yes. So when are we going to tell your parents? About that, you know how conservative my family is. If they hear I'm going to marry you, they won't be able to accept us, so we can never let them know about this marriage. You're gonna keep this a secret? Yeah, please. There's probably going to be a lot of trouble and issues. Okay, whatever you're comfortable with. Phew, another issue resolved. Wow, that's a big diamond. So when's the wedding? We're gonna have a small wedding. I'm only marrying him for my green card and a little bit for his money. Okay, a lot for his money. I'm not gonna tell my mom and dad about this. What is my family going to say? You married a hippo? What are my cousins going to think? They would be mocking me. In the next few days, Harry was happily making plans for their small wedding. Mom, Belle and I are getting married. Isn't it a bit too early? Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, she's the one. I love her. Have you considered she might be marrying you for a green card? It was true, Belle had applied for a green card, but he couldn't tell this to his mother. No, Mom, I told you, she's not like that. Once Belle got that ring on her finger, she was this close to being set for life. Belle and Harry had a small wedding in which Harry's close family came and only a handful of Belle's friends. Congratulations, man. You gotta tell me how you met her again. I guess it was just fate. I never thought I would meet a woman like her. She's perfect. But then came the night of the wedding. Belle still hadn't gotten her green card, and there was still 2 years to go till she could apply for her citizenship. What excuse would she use now? I've been waiting for tonight. Harry, there is something important I need to tell you first. In my culture, it's held auspicious not to take children for the first 24 lunar cycles of marriage. It's a tradition. Yeah, okay, but we can consummate the marriage, right? Yeah, I guess. Within a few weeks, Belle finally got that green card. She was so happy, having the time of her life. She was shopping, hanging out with her friends. Meanwhile, Harry had gotten very wrapped up with work, and in all the stress, he had gotten quite sick and had to take leave for a few days. His blood pressure raced too high. Great, so the hippo's got blood pressure. Big surprise. Soon you'll find out he has diabetes and cholesterol too. 2 days into looking after him, Belle was sort of fed up, but she obviously had to show some decency as his wife. I made you some soup and got the medicine. Thanks. Harry, I wish I could be with you, but a distant relative of mine has come and I have to be there to welcome him. It's a family emergency. Don't worry, you go and take care of it. Thanks, I'll try to be home early. Belle went to her room, got ready, and called Eva. Belle, where are you? Aren't you coming to the party? The hot guy is here already. I'll be there in half an hour. Eva and Belle were supposed to go to a party at a bar tonight, and there was no way Belle was missing this, so she had to make up a harmless excuse. Belle, you're finally here. This is Jake. Jake, this is Belle. Belle, well, you are a beauty. Thank you, you're not too bad yourself. Belle was having a good time flirting and dancing with her buddies when she suddenly felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned around and froze, seeing Harry's best friend, James. Belle, you're here? Where's Harry? Harry's not here, he's busy with work. So you came alone? No, I came with my friends. Oh, okay, I'll see you around. As James walked out of the bar, Belle shocked. I think I'm in trouble. Don't worry, just bluff him. You've been handling this hippo so far so good. I think you'll pass this too. How smart can a hippo be? It was around 11 p.m. that Belle returned home. She went to her room to find Harry still awake. Harry, how are you feeling? How was the party? Belle awkwardly laughed. I knew James would call you. I was on my way back and I bumped into Eva. She forced me into going to the party. Harry turned to look at her. She was right. James had called him. Hey man, what's up? I bumped into Belle tonight. She's at this party. Been dancing and flirting with this guy the whole evening. Thought I'd let you know. Belle anxiously stared at Harry, waiting for him to speak up. It's okay, you were having fun. Belle was surprised by how lightly Harry took it. She felt so ashamed, leaving him here when he was sick so she could go out and party, and he didn't even get mad at her or question her. The very next morning, Belle woke up early and made Harry breakfast. But around 8, he came out ready for work. You're going to work, but you're unwell. I have to go, it's urgent. Belle spent her day as usual, but in the back of her mind, she kept waiting for Harry to return. But it was sometime in the evening that a news caught her attention. New construction project at the loop comes crumbling down, many workers injured and some trapped under the rubble. Police are trying to bring them out, but authorities predict it might be too late for many. Belle watched the news in shock. This was the building Harry was working on. All of a sudden, she received a call from the company. Hello, is this Badia Bennett? Yes, where's Harry? I'm sorry, Mrs. Bennett. He was in the building at the time of the crash. The phone dropped from Belle's hand in shock. Her heart raced. She couldn't help the tears. Her hands trembled as she picked up the phone and called Eva. Eva, Harry got into an accident at the construction site. A lot of workers died and Harry's still missing. Yeah, I saw it on the news, but isn't that good news for you? If he dies, you'll own everything, his apartment, his car. No, I don't want any of that. I love him, Eva. I want him. Belle drove out to the construction site that was now surrounded by police. Mrs. Bennett, it's not safe for you to enter the site. Belle remained with the crew as they cleaned through the rubble and debris, but hours went by and there was no hope. Around 8 p.m., the sky started to get gloomy, foreshadowing a storm. Mrs. Bennett, we've been searching for 7 hours. I think it's time we stop. If the rain starts, the conditions will get worse. No, please, don't stop the search. I know he's in there. Belle looked up at the skies. Lord, please, bring him back to me. The crew continued digging as the rain started to pour. But it wasn't until almost 1 a.m. that they started to hear shouts. We found him! He's alive! The police pulled out Harry and a few others, all unharmed. Harry. Belle, my assistant, took responsibility while I was absent, and he ended up making a mistake. We were trying to fix it when the building collapsed. I was lucky I got stuck in the elevator, but I'm probably gonna lose this deal, and even if it wasn't my fault, this is gonna be a setback for my career. It's gonna be tough getting another job. Hearing him, Belle felt furious. You will sit at home. I'll run the household. You're not allowed to go outside again. I love you. I really love you. You understand that, Hippo? You'll never do this to me again. Harry chuckled. Belle, don't cry. I'm fine. And I love you too.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Aw, he's so sweet. Picking up the chocolates and the bear, Haley knew exactly who had sent these. Justin, her boyfriend. They met when Haley enrolled into BII just a few months ago, and love has been in the air since. Is that from Justin? Nice, I was craving chocolate. Lucky, I wish I had a boyfriend like that. Hey, at least save me some. Let me call him. Wait, no. You know what? I think I'm gonna surprise him. Justin ended up calling Haley, but the entire day Haley ignored him. And that evening, she dressed up and went straight to his place for a fun, surprise Valentine night. Haley, wow, you look amazing. Where have you been all day? I've been calling you. Enough. Now it's my turn. Your turn? The gift you got me, it was so sweet. So I thought, I'd also give you a gift. But just as Haley neared him, Justin looked at her confused. What gift? What? The bear? Haley, you know I'm against animal cruelty. Not that bear, the toy bear and the chocolates. No, I didn't get you any gift. What? And who was it? Wait, you didn't get me anything? No, that's not what I meant. Then what? Where's my gift? Justin shuffled his pockets and pulled out a paper. 2 tickets to BII Chickens Got Fried. Tickets? These are coupons. And it's expired. And you're against animal cruelty. I can't believe you, Justin. Haley, no. Wait. I think I have another one that's not expired. And so, Valentine's Day didn't turn out anything like what Haley expected. She stormed back home that night and locked herself up in her room. If it wasn't Justin, then who sent this? That's when she noticed a locket around the bear's neck and a note inside. Missed me? Tony? Oh no. It all happened the summer before she moved to the city, the worst summer of Haley's 18-year-old life. Haley grew up in the small beach town of Westerly in Rhode Island. She went to the local BII High, was fairly popular, and life was good. And who could forget Amber? They were best friends since childhood. Amber was a little crazy, but she was a whole lot of fun. And the two girls spent much of their high school years playing pranks and stupid stunts. And for the most part, they got away with it. But then came the summer of senior year, when Amber's cousin came over. Tony. On first impressions, Haley was love-struck. You didn't tell me your cousin was a Greek god in the flesh. He's alright. Come on, Amby, you have to hook us up. I don't think you want that. He's a little bit crazy. More crazy than you? Yeah, he tried crossbreeding different species of animal. What do you mean? Like a lion and a duck? What? I told you he's a creep. Haley soon got to know Tony wasn't anything like the Greek gods. Or maybe he was, because he was just weird. Very weird. Why are we here? What are we doing? Just wait. Whose bag is this? This is Tony's bag. And all these are his ex-girlfriend's things. He's a creep, Haley. He collects these. And not just that. Look what else I found. He listens to NSYNC, and he's a believer. What? Who does that? Hey, what are you guys doing in my room? Nothing. Haley, let's go. But that wasn't the only creepy thing about Tony. The guy was just outright strange. Whenever Haley was over at Amber's place, Tony would be staring at them. What is he looking at? Oh no. Oh no, what? The last time he got his eyes on this girl, that girl went missing. What? How? Nobody knows, and there was no proof. But everyone in the family thinks it's him. Be careful, Haley. Stay away from him. Alright. You don't think he tried to crossbreed her with... He just might have. You can't trust a believer. From that day on, Haley stopped coming over at Amber's and keeping all the distance she could from Tony. But it was one of these evenings. Amber called her over. Haley, I need you to come over right now. What happened? It's important. So Haley went over as fast as she could. What is it? There's something you need to see. Amber anxiously looked around before she sneaked Haley to the attic. What are we doing in here? Just stand right there. Confused, Haley stood still, when all of a sudden, Amber handcuffed her to the pillar. Amber, what are you doing? Uncuff me right now. I'm sorry. I have to. What? What do you mean you have to? Open me. This isn't funny, Amber. I'm sorry, Haley. He's got dirt on me. Please, for your bestie. It's just one time. One time? One time what? No way, Amber. Don't give in. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. In all the hustle, all of a sudden, the attic door opened and Tony popped in. You mad scientist! I can't believe you would blackmail your own cousin. What? Amber, what did you... I did everything you said, Tony. Please, don't tell anyone. Tell what? What are you guys talking about? Luckily, that day the neighbors called the cops hearing the ruckus. And when the cops arrived, Haley didn't hesitate to give Tony up. He blackmailed her. He was planning to kidnap me and do who knows what crossbreeding experiment. What? No, I didn't. It's all a lie. Officer, we found this magazine in his room. The Crossbreed Politan. I don't even know what that is. And he listens to NSYNC and Bieber. Who does that? Since Tony was still underage, he got sent to juvie with 3 months probation, and luckily, that was the end of that. Because come summer's end, Haley said goodbye to Westerly and moved to New Haven for college. And now, Tony is back. He still wants me? Well, can't blame him. Sometimes I wish I was only a 9.5. Haley couldn't sleep that night thinking about the possibilities. What was Tony planning this time? But luckily, nothing strange happened in the next few days. Or at least, until Haley got another package. What is this? There was no label on it. It's from him. Haley quickly took it to her room and ripped it open. A CD? Haley quickly got out her laptop and played it. But when the video began playing, she froze. It was footage of her and the girls in the apartment. He's watching us? But how did he get? That's when Haley realized her biggest mistake. She brought it in. suddenly noticing the glimmer in the bear's eye socket. Haley ripped out the eyeball. There was a camera installed inside. "You creep! Stay away from me!" Taking out all her rage, Haley stomped on the bear. "What are you doing?" Nothing." "Hey, watching a movie?" No, it's nothing." "What?" "You know what? I could really use some privacy." Haley pushed her roommates out and locked the door. What am I going to do? If they find out someone's spying on them through me, they'll kick me out. You crossed the line, Tony. Shouldn't have done that, Haley. Haley hadn't been speaking with Justin since Valentine's Day, but now she didn't have a choice. She needed help, and if she wanted to get out of this, she needed someone she could trust. "Justin, meet me at the cafe. I was just about to come to your place. Are you still mad at me?" No, not at my place. It's not safe." "Not safe? Just come." "Where is he?" Haley ended up waiting an hour at the cafe before Justin finally arrived. "And you expect me not to be mad at you? Do you know how long I've been waiting?" "I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to my motorbike. Someone slashed the tires. I had to walk the whole way here." "What? No. It was him." "Him? Him who?" "Tony. He's been stalking me ever since he got out of juvie. That gift, it was from him. He installed a camera in it, and he's been watching me. And now coincidentally, your bike tires get slashed. It has to be him." "How can you be so sure?" "You don't know this guy, Justin? He's crazy." Justin didn't want to believe Haley. The next day, when Tony pulled his next move, even Justin couldn't deny someone was messing with Haley. "He hacked into all my social media accounts. Look what he posted." "What is that?" "That's his duck." "What kind of duck is that?" "He's a crossbreeding mad scientist, Justin. There's no doubt it's him." "When you're ready for my next gift, give me a call." "We have to do something about him, Justin. You don't know what length he can go to. One of these days, I might even go missing." "We have to contact him." So that night, Haley sent Tony a message. "Tony? Haley, it's been a long time. Why can't you just leave me alone?" "You know I can't do that. You owe me. You ruined 3 months of my life. You humiliated me in front of everyone. Why don't you just get it? I'm not interested in you. You want me to leave you alone? Sleep with Amber." "What? Sleep with Amber?" Perfect humiliation for the 2 girls who humiliated me. Meet me at the IAB Hotel, 7 p.m. tomorrow, and be there alone, and bring a duck. Reading the last message, Justin stared at Haley in shock. You were right. He is a psycho. This means he's been after Amber too. I don't have a choice. I'm here. Come to room 203. You'll find her there. Don't worry about me. You know my eyes are on you. Anxiously, Haley went to room 203 and knocked on the door. Within a while, she was face to face with her best friend, Amber. Haley? Amber? A duck? You got his message, didn't you? I'm so sorry. He told me to get one too. He told you to bring that? And this duck? What are we going to do? There's nothing we can do. I know he's watching. If we don't, he's crazy. Who knows what he's gonna do to us? Amber and Haley looked at each other. I won't tell anyone. Alright, let's get this over with. But just as the girls were to get into bed, the door slammed open, and in came Tony and Justin. Alright, as much as I would have enjoyed watching this, enough is enough. Tony, you mad scientist! Justin, that's him! Yeah, we met. And you are up for one surprise. What is going on? Haley, don't listen to him. He's up to another one of his sick experiments. My sick experiment? Or yours? Amber and Haley have been friends since childhood. And there was a secret of Amber's that Haley always kept, even to this day. Amber was in the closet. She liked girls. But what Haley didn't know was that Amber had a crush on Haley herself. And last summer, when Tony came into the picture, Amber was jealous seeing Haley crush on him. Tony wasn't that bad of a guy, but it was Amber who intentionally made him appear as a creep to Haley. And that day, it was her who planned to kidnap and tie up Haley and get her way with her, while blaming Tony had blackmailed her into it. Of course, Haley, being her best friend, believed her, and so did the cops when the two girls ratted him out. But Amber didn't get her way that summer. And after Haley came to the city, Amber kept her eyes on her. When she found out Haley was dating Justin, she couldn't take it. She wanted Haley for herself. And when Tony got out of juvie, she planned to bait Haley again and blame it all on Tony. Fortunately, however, Justin managed to contact the real Tony, who came just in time to save the day. Just like he had the first time around. You did all this? Why didn't you tell me? I couldn't. You were so beautiful. Every time I look into your eyes, I get lost. I know. I don't blame you. Huh? What is up with these girls?
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Stephen Phelps is a two-time BII Olympic gold medalist in swimming. He is young, handsome, rich, and successful. He lives in New York City, parties with an elite group of friends, and even though everyone knows he's in a relationship with the famous Nadia Miller, BII gold medalist in gymnastics, every girl still wants to be with him. Stephen is at his prime. But one accident changed his whole life. Stephen was severely injured in a car crash and suffered extreme nerve damage to both his arms. Devastated, he opted for the best treatment. But even after months, his improvement was inconsiderable. He could no longer use his right arm and hand, and with much struggle, he was able to move his left hand. Doctors recommended further therapy, but Stephen was no longer able to afford the treatment, nor would his insurance cover the cost. These were tough times for Stephen, a time when he needed the most support. But the friends who were always ready to party with him didn't even pick up his calls out of fear he might ask to borrow money, and might not be able to return it because his career was now finished. And Nadia, the girlfriend that was so possessive and jealous about him, left him too. Now Stephen had no one in his life. He lived by himself in his Upper East Side apartment in Manhattan, the only property he had left. He couldn't drive his car. He even struggled to open a door or turn on a faucet. Now Stephen had difficulty doing the simplest of things, like using his phone or his computer. Now he kept a beard, being unable to shave, and went to the salon once a week. As an athlete, Stephen had always followed a certain lifestyle. Not having processed food and maintaining a diet, he used to have a personal chef. But now he couldn't afford it, and unable to cook himself, he had to order food, which gave him upset stomachs and bad weight gain. Stephen was at the lowest point of his life, suffering in depression. Now and then, he went out to take a walk by the Hudson River. He stared at all the people, jogging, listening to music. Stephen looked at a young woman running a fruit stall. She was humming and playfully arranging her fruits. Everyone was happy, except for him. Stephen sighed as he took a seat, watching the waves. Why, Lord? Why did this have to happen to me? New York! Woohoo! Man, that was a fun ride. Dude, take a picture of me. Stephen turned, annoyed to see two loud tourists riding a pedicab and yelling unnecessarily. Stupid tourists. Disturbing the peace at the park, they went up to the fruit stall. Nice! What kind of fruits are these? Mangoes, lychees, guavas, passion fruits, jackfruits, dragon fruits, and the most popular, coconuts. We'll try everything. Alright. The young woman chopped up a mango when one of the guys pointed out a jar on her stand. "Hey, what's that?" "It's a spice. It goes well with certain fruits. We want to try it." The young woman sprinkled some spice on the mangoes when the guys insisted, "Give more." "It's actually really spicy. I don't think that's a good idea." "We came here to have fun, for the real New York experience. We want to try out everything." "All right." Suddenly, Stephen heard a commotion behind him. "This is too spicy. My mouth is burning. My stomach is burning." Hold on. Let me cut up a coconut." The guys practically drenched themselves trying to drink from the coconut as the young woman watched them awkwardly. "It's not working. It's not work. Maybe you want to try a straw?" Oh man. I'm feeling it. I gotta poop. Is there a bathroom around here?" "Sorry, we're in the middle of Manhattan. There's no bathrooms here." No, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen." The young woman hurried to bring 2 garbage bags. "You might want to take this bag." Trying to hold their business in their pants, the guys limped towards the road. "It's gonna happen again, dude. We gotta get home. Taxi!" Luckily, a taxi conveniently stopped. What's that smell? Another one? No. You can't get in my taxi like that. Seeing their condition, the young woman got a few more bags. "You guys will have to take the subway, but let's look on the bright side. Taking a dump in your pants in the middle of the road is something every New Yorker has to go through. This is the real New York experience. So no one's gonna look at you strange. It's pretty normal in the subway. Just put these bags on the seats before you sit. If you go straight down, you'll find the A, E, and C train." Stephen laughed after a long time. Feeling a bit better, he got up and went to the stall. "1 coconut, please." "Here you go." Stephen took out his wallet and with much struggle handed the woman $2. "Are you that famous Olympic gold medalist?" "Yes." "Wow, I'm Lynn. Is it okay if we have a selfie?" "Sure." After taking a picture with Lynn, Stephen headed back to the bench. Spending the afternoon there, around 7, he passed a glance at the fruit stall to see Lynn was packing up. She took some fruits and handed it to a homeless man before closing up the stall. Stephen too decided to return home. It took him quite some time to open the door and close it again. He struggled to take off his shoes and put away his jacket, but he chuckled remembering the real New York experience. The next afternoon, Stephen decided to head to the park again, but this time, as he neared Lynn's stall, he was surprised to see a large poster of their selfie, and on it in bold, "Lynn's Fruit Stop, Celebrity Hotspot." Seeing Stephen, Lynn nervously chuckled as she slowly tried to turn her poster over. "What is that?" "Haha, I didn't know you would come again. But I guess now I'll have to. 1 coconut, please." This was how Lynn and Stephen's friendship began. Stephen came to the riverside every afternoon and brought fruits from her stall. And after she closed around 7 p.m., they would take a walk down the riverside. "So tell me about yourself." I moved here from China about a year ago. Back home, I used to live with my parents and 7 other siblings. It always felt so crowded until I came here and rented a tiny room in a tiny apartment with a roommate. At first, I started working a job, and after saving up some money, I bought this fruit stall, from which I send money back home and save up for my dream of opening a big fruit shop. What about you? Well, I'm not doing much right now, just living on my own. Your family? My mom passed away, and my dad got married again. He's settled now. Spending the evenings together by the riverside soon became a routine for them. Lynn would bring him a different exotic fruit. Why is it red? No. I don't want the real New York experience. Just try it out. Wow, this is good. Today, Lynn had been exceptionally busy at the stall, and Stephen had been waiting for her. But it wasn't until around 9 she finally closed up. Maybe you should give me a share. After my poster, your business has been running pretty good. Or maybe I should give a share to those two. Ever since they had the real New York experience, I've gotten good luck. The weather was beautiful, and a cool breeze blew from the riverside as they walked on. But a while down the path, they were suddenly stopped by 3 men. Oh look, you're that swimmer. Or more of a cripple now, aren't you? Stephen took out his wallet and handed them. Listen, we don't want any trouble. Lovebirds. Nice catch. Are you going to enjoy her alone? Leave her alone. What are you going to do about it, cripple? One of the guys pushed Stephen, and unable to hold him back, Stephen fell to the ground. Lynn quickly got in the way, handing them her bag. Take the bag and leave, please. His watch. Snatching everything away, the guys left in a hurry. As Lynn helped Stephen up. Are you okay? But Stephen didn't say a word. Not the entire time he walked Lynn home. Are you going to be alright? I'll be fine. But in truth, Stephen felt so low. He was an athlete. He had so much strength and speed. And today he was in this condition, so helpless and useless. The following day, Lynn waited for Stephen, but he didn't come. On the 3rd day Stephen had been home, he suddenly got a visitor. He opened the door, surprised to see Lynn. And in her hands, a few boxes. Hello, boss. Your order is here. Lynn, how did you find my place? Because I'm Bond, James Bond. Really? And what is all this? It's a surprise. Now, where's your bathroom? Here? Alright, don't come in. But Lynn wasn't exactly right back. 2 hours in, Lynn finally opened the door and called him. Ta-da, Lynn said. A motion sensor faucet. So you're here to show your sympathy? Lynn shrugged. Yeah, special sympathy for your special moments, she said, pressing a switch on the toilet as water suddenly sprayed out of the bowl. The Ultra Toilet Seat Bidet. Never go for tissues again. Stephen couldn't help but laugh. You are crazy. This is BI Japan. I thought you were from China. Yeah, so what? Stephen and Lynn joked around and spent the entire day together. Why didn't you come these past days? I was missing you. I was a little under the weather. Alright, boss, it's getting late. I have to go. Okay, let's go. Wait, what about my payment? What payment? It took 2 hours to install it. Where's my service charge? I thought it was a surprise gift. Pay up. After settling the bill, Steven grabbed his jacket. I'll drop you home. It's alright, you weren't feeling well, you should rest. No, I'm fine now. So Lynn and Steven headed out towards the riverside. It was almost 10, and the park was practically empty. Until they stumbled into those 3 thugs again. Oh look, it's the cripple and his girl. Lynn immediately stepped up. We don't want trouble. You want money, just take it and go. No, wait. What are you going to do, you cripple? Get yourself beat up again? That's when Steven took out a gun. I might be a cripple, but I think I can make a clear shot from this short distance. Chill, dude. Chill, no need to get so serious. We just came to say sorry for that day's behavior. We don't want trouble, dude. We were about to leave, the guy said, backing out. But Lynn stopped them. Hold on. Take out your wallet. What are you doing? What? He came to say sorry, he might as well give me back my money. In a panic, the men took out their wallets as Lynn snatched it away. But looking inside, she furrowed her brows. What is this? $3? And you have a 5? Oh look, this guy has money. A whole 10. What a lottery. This is all you have? It's tough. We didn't get any customers today. Why do you think we came to you? Give the watch. Alright, here. You got what you want. Now let us go. Hold it right there. You aren't going anywhere. Take off your clothes. What? Lynn, what are you doing? Just wait and watch. Steven watched dumbfounded as the men took off their clothes. Do you guys know how to swim? No? Good. Lynn said, taking their clothes and throwing it over the railing. Now you can go. Lynn, you are crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy. Looking at Lynn, Steven let out a deep breath. When I first met you, I was at the lowest point of my life. My athletic body got permanently damaged. My career as a sportsman was over. I was struggling with money. People who I thought were my friends went away from me. Even the love of my life, who I thought understood me, left me. I used to ask the Lord, why did this happen to me? But now I know. Those friends weren't my true friends. That woman wasn't my true love. They were only around me because I had money, fame, and potential to reach more greatness. I had everything, but still, every moment, I would seek fun and excitement to feel happy. That life was no more than a delusion, with fake people, fake love, and fake happiness. And now, I have nothing but this damaged body. I'm struggling with money, all alone, no ways of seeking fun or excitement. But I still feel happy when I'm with you. Lynn, will you marry me? With teary eyes, Lynn said, I will. And that was the beginning of Steven and Lynn's relationship. Steven sold his Upper East Side apartment, and he and Lynn bought a small home in the countryside and opened up a small fruit shop where both worked together and started their new happy life.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Good morning, students. As you may have heard, Mr. Dawkins unfortunately got into an accident and won't be able to take your classes for the final semester. So, I will be your substitute teacher. My name is Beth. You all can call me Miss... Beth Winslet. She was only 22 years old, pursuing an English degree while trying to start her teaching career, when she landed a temporary job teaching a senior class at the local BII high school. Beth was enthusiastic, motivated. She thought she would really connect with her students. But just minutes into day one, she realized this wasn't going to be easy. Miss Winslet, you know, we wouldn't mind you giving us some private lessons. Yeah, how about a private health ed class, Miss Wilson? At first, it was the rude comments, double-meaning jokes, and immature notes, but then began the horrible pranks. Everyone, get your papers out. They were due today. How did the seat get wet? Who did this? Beth knew exactly who was behind this. A gang of boys in the class, at the head of whom was James Cargill, the stuck-up, rich, popular kid. But despite knowing so, actually catching him wasn't easy because James always had his minions do everything for him. So now, work meant sitting on a wet chair and having her whole behind look like she soiled herself, turning on the projector during a presentation to find someone had set up her BI Facebook pics of her wearing a swimsuit on the beach. We'll go over Shakespeare. What's so funny? It's all right, Beth. Breathe. It's only 4 months. Then you'll get to put this on your resume as experience and move on in life. But sure enough, 2 weeks in, Beth was fed up. It was, however, one morning when Beth walked into her classroom a little early, the tables had turned. What are you boys doing here? Nothing, waiting for class. Beth stared at the chalkboard, horrified by what she saw. Really? How about you wait in front of the principal's office? Not you two. James, to the principal, right now. I want a 5,000-word essay on Hamlet before you leave. This is bull... You don't want to make this any worse for yourself. Get to work. And so, Beth got her revenge. 2 weeks of detention for the 2 weeks of horror she faced. And James, he obviously didn't want to be here, but now, what choice did he have? If detention meant his parents weren't going to know, then detention it was. Each day after school, Beth tortured him mercilessly with loads of work, while she fiddled away on her laptop. Get working, I want that paper before I leave. It was one afternoon, however, Beth walked out of the classroom to take a call, leaving James all alone. Sitting there, James suddenly heard a notification on Beth's laptop. She had left it unlocked. And James couldn't help but pry. But he never expected what he would find. What are you doing? Beth walked in and froze seeing James on her laptop. How dare you touch my laptop? But James suddenly smirked. I don't think you want to make this any worse for yourself. Because if you do, I'll expose your little secret to everyone. You can't use illegally obtained evidence against me. I wasn't planning to, but ever thought what's going to happen to your reputation? Your teaching license? What do you want? Take you out of detention? No. Then what? Good grades? Nope. James looked at her with a smirk before he grabbed his bag and walked out the door. How about I let you know? Beth was devastated. What is he going to do? Reveal my secret? No, I can't let that happen. My life would be ruined. Beth was prepared for anything. But the rest of the week went by in utter anticipation. James didn't say or do anything. But come the weekend, Beth got a text from an unknown number with an address. Get here right now, unless you want everyone to know you. James, no, I have to get there. Beth was quite surprised when she reached the grand house. She knew James was from a rich family, but she didn't expect this rich. Standing outside the door, Beth suddenly heard James on the telecom. It's unlocked, come in. Beth walked into an empty house. As she looked around, she went into the living room to find James lounging on the couch. Welcome. What do you want? Don't be so hasty, Beth. Kneel. What? You heard me. Wear this. A maid outfit? No. You have gone mad if you think I'm going to do anything like... From now on, you will be my Alfred, and you will address me as Master Wayne. You have to be kidding me, right? Alright, whatever. I'll do it and then this is over. Yeah, right. I own you till the end of the semester. Here is your gourmet pizza. Here is your gourmet pizza what? Here is your gourmet pizza, Master Wayne. And so, Beth became James's butler. How long is he gonna pull this? His parents have got to find out. But Beth soon realized James's parents were rarely ever in the country. They were always out on their business trips, and James practically had the entire house to himself. And now, he had Beth too. She cleaned his room, did his laundry, cooked and served him food, while James enjoyed all the services. Here's your outfit, Master Wayne, washed and ironed. Good. James took out a pair of car keys and threw it at her. Let's go. Where? To party. Get the car, chauffeur. Beth's heart raced as she got into James's father's Ferrari. What if we get caught? We won't. And by the way, you're gonna buy me some booze. James, you're crossing the... I got everything saved right on here. If you want me to. No, please. I'll do what you say. So Beth pulled out the driveway, stopped by the store, bought some drinks, and at last drove James to his party. Come on. I don't want to go. What if someone from school spots us? No one from school is here. Now let's go, Alfred. Hey, dude. Got some drinks? Cool, man. Who's that chick? Oh, her? My butler. And my chauffeur. Nice. Fortunately, James didn't tell anyone about the deal that was on between them. But Beth didn't know if that was a good thing. Because now, James could practically do anything and everything with her. It was one of these days. Beth drove James to the BI GameStop, where he picked up a bunch of video games. Oh, Thor. Oh, so you're a Marvel fan. Guess what, Alfred? We're only DC fans. Now carry this. He is so stupid. Nonetheless, Beth did as ordered. But when it came to the register, James looked at Beth. Give me your card. My card? Yes, Alfred. Who's going to pay for everything? But you're so rich. Why would you do this to me? I'm just a poor, struggling substitute teacher. Beth couldn't help the tears as she swiped her debit card to buy a ridiculous Batman action figure. But that too was only the beginning. James made her buy the most stupidest of things. Be strong, Beth. You're gonna have to pay for all this with your inheritance. It's a small price for your reputation. Who's that? Quick, go hide. Beth quickly ran into one of the closets as she anxiously listened in to some of James's school friends arrived. What's up, dude? It's like you disappeared. Kinda been busy. As the guys got into chit-chat, Beth suddenly heard her name. We got the best idea to prank Miss Winslet. What? We're gonna sneak into the ladies' bathroom and snap some pics of her. We'll put it online. Dude, this will be viral. Beth couldn't believe what she was hearing, but it was then that James said, "No, dude, that's too much. Leave it." What got into you? 2 weeks of detention? No, she's not that bad. You're not too bad yourself. Beth waited for James to come and get her, thinking she'd thank him and he'd treat her nicely, maybe even free her. But as soon as the front door shut, he heard him shout, "Alfred, where's my tea?" Only in her dreams. Here's your tea, Master Wayne. Ah, that's refreshing. He is really so stupid. Drinking cocoa and pretending like it's tea just to be like Batman. When is the semester going to end? Finally, I'll be free. Unfortunately for Beth, there was still a month to go. And until then, she was practically working her job at school, and then working as a butler, a chauffeur for James, while emptying her bank account as well. You will get VIP tickets to Thor Love and Thunder this week. But I thought you didn't like Thor. Well, I changed my mind. That weekend, Beth drove James to the theater, though this time, she was pretty excited herself to get to watch Thor. But the moment she was about to lock the car and follow after him, James stopped her. "Where do you think you're going?" "To watch the movie." No, you're staying in the car. What? Why? Because I heard the movie's great. What? Then why wouldn't you let... Never mind. As James winked at her and headed into the theater, Beth sat in the car, feeling like banging her brains out. But it was a while later that she suddenly heard voices. Hey, look at her. What is she wearing? Some guys huddled around the car as they came to her window. Hey, babe, what are you doing here alone? You know, we can do some roleplay too. You look like a lot of fun. Leave me alone. Beth was about to close the window when one of the guys shoved his hands inside. I don't think so. Beth was shocked when the guys got the door opened and was about to pull her out, when suddenly there was a voice. Get away from her. The guys laughed, seeing James. And what are you going to do? You don't want to mess with me. Beth widened her eyes in shock, seeing James pull out a gun. Alright, dude, she's yours. She's yours. And almost immediately, the guys ran off. You have a gun? I'm Batman. I have everything. But this is just a prop. What? Are you crazy? What were you planning to do if they realized that? I'm Batman. I always have a backup. Beth hit her head. Right, but thanks, by the way. What happened to your movie? I was getting bored by myself. Come on, let's go. The last of the weeks went by pretty quickly. Beth actually wanted to make it up for James for saving her that night, and she also got a hang of being a butler, and things weren't so bad. And in all this, right before prom, one night, she got a package on her doorstep. What's this? She opened it up to see a pair of diamond earrings from B.I. Tiffany & Co. Wow. Inside the box was a small note as well. P.S. Didn't buy this with your card. It's from me. Gotta let you know, you're free. Before long, the night of prom arrived. Beth was with the other teachers when she noticed James walk in with his friends. But throughout the night, he was all alone. You don't have a date? No, didn't feel like bringing anyone. Then how about a dance with your teacher? As Beth and James got on the dance floor together, all the students watched in awe. You're wearing the earrings? Yeah. So, this is it? Yep. After tonight, you go your way, and I'll go mine. The night turned out pretty great. But as with all things, it had to come to an end. But as James was walking back home, he suddenly heard a honk and a car drive up to him. Beth? Master Wayne, I apologize for being late. Your ride is here.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. The DeLuca family was one of the most influential families in Connecticut. Raphael DeLuca moved from Italy to Connecticut many years ago. And over those years, he successfully continued the family business. He was able to reach a high position of power. But of course, with power came not only responsibilities, but rivals who wanted to snatch it away. Raphael was a vigilant man. He was sure to take precautions concerning the safety of his family. His beloved wife had passed away years ago, but she had given him 2 children, whom Raphael raised with strict rules and regulations, warning and preparing them of the dangers they would face. This is Alfonso de Luca, the inheritor to all of Rafael de Luca's wealth, property, and power. He was in his late 20s, enjoyed his youth, hung out with his friends, and traveled far and wide on adventures. Though he did keep his father concerned about his welfare, he was not what you would call a bad kid. He respected his father and tried to stay low and out of trouble, at least for the most part. So Rafael de Luca's son comes here to have fun. Maybe today we'll have a little fun of our own. Where is he hiding? Alfonso, it's Espinosa's men. They damaged our cars. How are we gonna get out of here? We don't have time. We have to run. If you run, you'll get caught. I have a car. I can give you guys a ride. This is Calvin Hoffman. He was born and raised in Italy. He moved to the USA about a few months ago, after he graduated from college, when he was promised a job at a big company in Connecticut by a distant relative who lived here. Unfortunately, the interview didn't go too well, and Calvin didn't get the job. Now, staying at his distant uncle's home while searching for another job was quite uncomfortable, and oftentimes Calvin came to this bar to get away. It was today, however, that he was shocked by the sudden commotion. A few brute men came in searching for someone, and that individual was hiding right behind Calvin. A young man about his age. He looked petrified, and so was Calvin in the midst of this havoc. Sneaking through the back door, Calvin, Alfonso, and his buddy reached Calvin's car and immediately fled from the bar. Who are they? My father's rivals. I can't thank you enough. You saved my life. I owe you for this. What's your name? Where are you from? Calvin. I moved here from Italy some months back. Oh, so you're Italian. My family's from Italy too. That was how Calvin and Alfonso met, and how their friendship began. Alfonso soon learned of Calvin's struggle here in Connecticut and invited him to his house the following day. Here's my address. When you're there, just mention my name. Perhaps my father can arrange something for you. And so, the next morning, Calvin arrived at the De Luca house, amazed by the grand mansion and the numerous security that surrounded it. When he mentioned he was a friend to Alfonso, they immediately escorted him inside. Father, this is Calvin. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be standing in front of you today. He saved my life. He's new here, and he's searching for a job. Thank you for what you've done for us. Take a seat. Tell me about yourself. Dad, I need to go outside. Can you please tell your men to free the gate? They're not letting me go. Carmela, I've told you already. You can't go out on your own. It's not safe. Carmela, there are guests, so don't trouble Father all the time. Dad, Alfonso nearly got himself killed, and you don't tell him anything, and I have to stay locked inside. Maybe we should really lock you. Carmela, we don't have anyone that can take you out today. Try to understand. No, Dad, I can't take this anymore. This is unfair. Hold on, Carmela. Wait. Alfonso, will your friend be suitable to work for us as Carmela's bodyguard? As her bodyguard? He's actually perfect. He's smart, he stays calm under pressure, he's a good driver. If it wasn't for him in that critical situation, I don't know how I would have gotten out of there. He saved my life. Of course he's trustworthy. Calvin was offered a job at the DeLuca mansion as Carmela's driver and bodyguard. Though the job didn't suit his credentials, he accepted it as he was being paid generously. If he happened to get a better job elsewhere, he would quit this job. Calvin was a decent, simple guy. He avoided unnecessary altercations and stayed away from trouble. However, Carmela was two things: spoiled and wild. And always up for the thrill. Carmela, it's getting late. We have to return home. All right, let's go. Stop the car, Calvin. Here? Why? Just have some fun, Calvin. Enjoy the night skies. Let's play some music and just chill. You and me. Come on, let's share this, Calvin. But I have to warn you, it's kind of spicy. Carmela, we have to leave. This area isn't safe. Over the days, Carmela started to fall for Calvin, his innocence, his shyness, his concerns to protect her under any cost. And strange as it was, Calvin also started to feel for Carmela. Carmela, this is not safe. If your father knows, he will definitely disapprove of this. Oh, come on, Calvin, don't be so lame. Enjoy the winds of the mountains. No, Carmela, no. You have to admit that was fun, Calvin. Alright, it was. But you're not doing it again. I like spending time with you, Calvin. All I think about is you. It's like I don't want you to leave me. Carmela, what's going on between us? It's not right. I don't want to get into trouble having a fling with the daughter of Raphael de Luca. Forget everything, Calvin. Nothing matters to me but this. I've fallen in love with you. Carmela, this love isn't possible. Your family won't accept me. Don't worry about that. I can convince my father for anything, and I don't care what Alfonso has to say. Soon enough, Carmela and Calvin started having an affair. They were madly in love with each other, and it was as if nothing could break them apart. Or so they thought. Carmela, where were you today? What to you? Carmela, what you're doing isn't right. Stop this before everything goes out of control. Alfonso, how about you mind your own business and just leave me alone? Carmela didn't pay heed to her brother's warnings. She didn't tell Calvin that he knew either, as it would only deter him and perhaps send him far away from her. Her relationship with Calvin only grew stronger, and their bond grew deeper until one day, Carmela was called by her father for a talk. I've spoken to the Bianchi family about your marriage. They'll be here to meet us soon. Raphael de Luca arranged Carmela's marriage with the son of his business partners in Italy. The Bianchi family had done business with the De Lucas, but they weren't exactly at good terms. However, with this marriage, the two families would be at truce with each other. What? How can he do this? Calvin, I didn't expect something like this to happen. You have to tell your father, Carmela. Calvin, if I weren't afraid for you, I would have told my father already. When I went to speak with him, I saw the look on his face. He's arranged this for his personal agenda, and he won't accept anyone becoming an obstacle in his way. If I tell him about us, he'll not only kill me, but he'll kill you too. Then what are we going to do? Does our love have no value? Calvin, your life has more value to me than our love. It's better if we don't meet again. The Bianchis arrived to Connecticut for the grand occasion. The richest and the finest were invited to De Luca's mansion to celebrate the wedding of Carmela De Luca. On one hand, the De Luca and the Bianchi signed their deal. And on the other, Calvin was shattered seeing the woman he loved being married to someone else. He was standing there while everyone celebrated, able to do nothing. After Carmela's wedding, she moved to Italy with her husband, far away from Connecticut, far away from Calvin. Calvin continued to work for the De Luca, however, he was a changed person now. He was quieter than usual, he didn't go anywhere or do anything outside of work. It was one of these days. Alfonso De Luca was devastated. Rafael De Luca was no more. His rivals had taken his life, and there was no doubt that the Espinosas were responsible. But this was no time to mourn his loss. He had to stay strong and take his father's place. Carmela returned to Connecticut with her husband for her father's funeral. She was heartbroken. She neither spoke or met anyone and left soon after. After Rafael De Luca's demise, Alfonso De Luca was not able to handle the family business like his father, but with the help of his trusted men, he just barely managed to keep things running. However, the truth was that everything was now messed up. Boss, we have to call backup. The Espinosa's men have surrounded the property. 3 of our guards are down. During this critical time, the rivals had ambushed the De Luca mansion, and Alfonso had to take shelter elsewhere for a few days. While he was at his safe house, he received another horrible news. The Espinosas had attacked his sister's family and took the life of her husband. They couldn't overpower Rafael De Luca when he was alive, but they would take their revenge after his death. Carmela had survived the attack and fled from her home, taking a flight back to Connecticut, where Alfonso informed her he would pick her up. Let's go, Calvin, to the airport. Carmela will be here in an hour. Calvin silently started the car and began driving down the road. The two were still good friends. Calvin saved his life after all. Alfonso knew he wanted to marry his sister. It was ever since the marriage, in fact, that Calvin had become quite depressed. After a while of driving, Alfonso spoke up. How are you doing, Calvin? You don't come to hang out anymore. You knew I loved your sister, didn't you, Alfonso? Maybe it's better you move on, Calvin. Why should I just move on? Your father ruined my life. He ruined your sister's life. And today, look at how messed up your life has become, living in duress every second of the day. Stop the car, Calvin. Calvin looked around. They were by the mountainside. He stopped the car and Alfonso got out, calling him. There's something I need to tell you before we bring Carmela. I know you were hurt once, and I don't want you to be hurt again. Were you against our love? You knew everything from the start, Alfonso. Why don't you admit it? Yes, I knew, but you don't know everything. What do you mean? When I found out, I went to my father and told him. He wasn't happy about the relationship, but I tried to reason with him. Father, Calvin is a good guy. He's trustworthy. He saved my life. Alfonso, you've always understood my concerns, but this can't happen. My daughter will get married to the bodyguard? Why not, Father? Is his only fault that he's not rich? My father was reluctant, but then he agreed to accept the proposal if Carmela came forward about it. Dad, I have to speak to you about something important. Come in, Carmela. What is it? Upon seeing his daughter, Rafael assumed why she had come. This was about Calvin. Dad, I want to get married. Do you have anyone in mind? When I was studying in college abroad, I met a young man named Rinaldo Bianchi. He belongs to a wealthy family, and I want to marry him. Rafael was surprised by Carmela's request. He understood his daughter may not have the best of characteristics. She was betraying her lover. But as a father, Raphael would now have assurance of her welfare if she married the Bianchis. The Bianchis and the De Luca had some rivalry, but they were not enemies, and perhaps this marriage would make their unity strong. Okay, daughter, I'll call the Bianchis. Ever since the breakup, I've been watching you. You've stopped dating, you're alone, I understand what you're going through. Calvin's eyes started to tear up. He couldn't bear the pain and banged on the hood of the car. Alfonso walked up to him and held his shoulder. I know this might be difficult for you to take in, but as your friend, I had to tell you the truth. Calvin turned to look at him as the tears flowed from his eyes. There's something I need to confess to you. Calvin wanted to move on, but when he witnessed Carmela's marriage right in front of his eyes, he couldn't take it. He couldn't handle his rage and anger against Rafael De Luca. The Espinosas may have taken his life, but they were only able to because Calvin had snitched on Rafael De Luca to them. Calvin had given them inside information, and they used it to their advantage and got rid of their mutual enemy. But what Calvin didn't realize was that he handed over not just the life of Rafael De Luca, but that too of his family. It seemed that the only reason Alfonso and Carmela were in grave danger was because of Calvin. I'm responsible for your father's death. Calvin collapsed to his knees, guilty of a heinous crime. Alfonso was thundered. He stumbled back in shock, infuriated and disgusted by Calvin's presence. He couldn't stand this. He wouldn't stand this. I took you as a friend, but you're nothing but a traitor. You're worse than the enemies. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting. I want this completed in half an hour. Half an hour? Mr. Campbell, it will take at least 3 or 4 hours for the file to be rendered. Then you better get to work fast, Murray. Mr. Campbell, I've already completed everything. This is like waiting for something to load, if you know what I mean. I don't want to hear the excuses, Murray. Mr. Campbell, it's really not up to Caleb. The timing depends on how fast the software completes the rendering process. It will take time. Alright then. Get back to work, Grant. And Murray, what did you say? 3 hours, not a minute over that. Caleb Murray and Michael Grant watched their rude, and maybe just a little unreasonable, intolerant, and totally not understanding boss, Mr. Terry Campbell, walk down the aisle like a hawk. They were software engineers at the Campbell Tech Company in Cupertino, California. Thanks, man. I just couldn't make Campbell understand at all. No problem. He really doesn't get what we do for him anyways, so what do you expect? I better get back to work. Yeah, probably. Hey, I heard you were searching for a room. There's a vacant room in my apartment if you want to rent. Really? I've been searching for months now. That would be great. I'll talk to my landlord about the lease. We'll divide the rent. It's a win-win for both of us. And so, Caleb and Michael became roommates. And over the days of working and living together, they became good friends. They had a lot in common anyways. Dude, which edition of the BII Adventures of Wayne the Huntsman comics is this? Whoa, be careful, those are rare. I've been collecting them for years now. Cool, man, can I borrow these? Knock yourself out, I read them all. Thrice. I'm gonna sit back and watch my daily show. What are you watching? You don't know? It's 7 p.m. Professor Connery's What's Beyond is on. It's the best paranormal TV show of all time. Popcorn? Caramel coated? You bet. This is really scary and interesting. It's BII, what did you expect? It's addictive. Michael and Caleb were enjoying their lives. Especially Caleb. It was just the other day, he noticed a new girl at the office, Laura Levesque. She sat in the cubicle down the row and was awfully distracting. The BII system configuration is so confusing. I bet you no hacker is getting into this. Could you help me out? Sorry, Laura, programming isn't really my field. I can help. Hi, I'm Caleb. Don't you have something else to work on? No, I have a few minutes, Caleb said, staring at Laura. Well, you never have a few minutes for me, Kayla murmured under her breath. Caleb is a software engineer. He'll be able to help you. Thanks, Caleb. Don't mention it. This is actually pretty easy. I'll show you a few shortcuts. I've always been a little weak in this, and on top of that, I don't have the time to complete it. I'm new here and I don't want to get fired. I know what you mean. Mr. Campbell is pretty tough on his employees, but don't worry, it won't take long. How about we meet up at lunch break and I'll show you how to do it. Really? That's so sweet of you. Lexical analysis is really easy. I can show you how to tokenize the input code with your eyes closed. I think I have a long way to go till I reach there, Caleb. You did the whole thing? So fast? Thanks, Caleb. You know who you remind me of? My favorite hero. You're like Batman. So tech-savvy and cool. Meanwhile, Michael too was having a great time. Things turned around for him when he too bumped into the most beautiful girl in the world. Whoops, sorry about that. Hi, I'm Michael. You need some help? It's okay, I'm just taking this to my car. I'm Laura. No, it's alright, let me help you. Are you new here? I haven't seen you around. Yeah, I'm a programmer. Me too, we should catch up sometime. Michael struggled to carry the box. What was this girl carrying in here? Nonetheless, he was relieved when he pulled it off without having to use his inhaler. Wow, we got here fast. Do you work out? This was pretty heavy. Well, you know, I do my thing. You're so charming, just like James Bond. I like James Bond. Come the weekends, Caleb and Michael were at their best mood. They were making future plans for their love lives. They plopped down on the couch, turned on BII's What's Beyond, both smiling at each other. You first. Best week ever. I met the love of my life. She thought I was like Batman, her hero. Really? That's great, man. I think I found the one too. She called me James Bond. Smooth. She's already falling for you. Where'd you two meet? We bumped into each other in the parking lot. You? At the office. What? What's her name? Laura. Levesque? Michael said, turning around. She's the love of your life? No. She's my girl. What? How are you like James Bond? Look in the mirror, Four Eyes asthma freak. And in what angle are you like Batman? Dude, you're broke, man. You better back off, Michael. No way, you back off. She's into me. You back off. She's into me. We'll see who she's into. They always pick the smarter ones anyway. Smart? Huh, you can't even get a project file rendered in half an hour. Oh, the game is on. The meeting is in 5 minutes. Anyone who's late is getting cut from their paychecks. Shoot, what am I going to do now? What happened? I couldn't complete the PowerPoint last night. Alright, hold on. Take my USB. Now you just have to pull off the act. And you're beautiful, so I think you're good to go. Aw, thanks, Caleb. You're just too sweet. Where is everyone? I better get going. No, my laptop! It's alright, don't panic. I know how to fix this. How are you going to fix it? None of the keys are working. What am I going to do? You'll be surprised, Michael said, tinkering with the laptop as Laura watched him cluelessly. Ta-da, running fine. Wow, how did you do that? You're awesome, Michael. You did well in the presentation? Yeah, thanks a lot. Couldn't have done it without you. No, don't thank me. Congratulations. You know what? We should celebrate. Let me take you out to dinner. I would love that. How about Friday night? The BII Lounge? Are you wearing a new perfume? That smells wonderful. You noticed? I don't think anyone can overlook you. I was wondering, you want to go out and get dinner maybe? Sure, you know what? I had plans at the BII Lounge. Why don't you meet me there on Friday night? Both Caleb and Michael were thrilled for the next Friday night. Caleb rented a nice tuxedo. He'll show Laura he wasn't just Batman, he could be James Bond too. But Michael was right. He was low on money, but that was no problem. Caleb snuck into Michael's room and stole his money from his wallet. When all of this was over, he would gladly return it all. Caleb put the money into his wallet, and his wallet into his tuxedo, before he hurried off into the shower. He didn't want to be late. However, when Caleb was singing in the shower, Michael snuck into his room. He had gotten suspicious the minute he saw the tux. Did Laura have plans with him? Nope, this wasn't happening. He grabbed Caleb's tuxedo and hurried off. When it was all over, he would gladly pay the bill to the rental. Caleb's tuxedo was a bit big on Michael, but it wasn't that bad. He threw Caleb's wallet into the closet and grabbed his own wallet and headed out the door. Laura, you're looking gorgeous tonight. Hey, you're looking nice too, like James Bond actually. When Caleb came out of the shower to see his tux was gone, Michael. It could have only been him. No. He wasn't ruining this date. That was Caleb's job now. Caleb, you finally made it. What happened? You got caught up on the road? Yeah, my roommate can be a jerk sometimes, but I made it. Caleb said, clenching his jaws, staring at Michael. The more the merrier. Looks like you're the odd one out here, not wearing a tux. I know you don't have money to buy a tux, but you didn't even have the money to rent one? Wow, you can actually see with those eyes? I actually did rent a tux, but unfortunately it got stolen. Who would steal a tux? That's strange. It's alright, at least I made it here. If it was Michael, it would have been tough for him. I hope you brought your inhaler, man. Didn't lose your breath coming here, did you? Laura awkwardly chuckled. Yeah, I was going to tell you, I invited Michael. I heard you picked this restaurant. Is it because of what happened last time? Caleb's last date fled. That's why he had to book a little far. The other restaurant banned him. You got banned from a restaurant? Both the guys looked at each other and then at Laura. It was better to bail out rather than losing a second chance with her. The date was ruined already. The bill is on me, but Michael, I think you brought my wallet by mistake. Funny, this isn't your wallet, it's my wallet. I'll give the bill. Caleb raised his brow seeing Michael take out his wallet. His empty wallet. Oh, okay, you give the bill. Michael gave Caleb a smirk as he opened his wallet. And suddenly froze. Huh, nice joke, Caleb. Alright, you can give the bill. This isn't a competition after all. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. You wanted to give the bill, Michael. You give the bill. Michael kicked on Caleb's feet, and Caleb kicked him back. You idiot, I don't have money. Looks like you get payback for ruining my date now, don't you? She already thinks you're a loser. You came here without your freaking wallet. Both Caleb and Michael turned and looked at Laura. Would you just excuse us to the restroom? Sure. While Caleb and Michael rushed off to the restroom, Laura sat there waiting. Waiting. Until the waiter started to show up. Excuse me. We're waiting for the bill? Just one moment. I'm waiting for my friends. This table is reserved for another customer, miss. You have to pay the bill and free the booth. 5 more minutes. They'll be right here. Laura couldn't believe the guys ditched her, trying to escape the embarrassment in this restaurant full of people. Laura paid the bill herself and hurried out. But when she left, she was shocked to find Caleb and Michael shouting at each other in the parking lot. Where were you guys? Those waiters were creating a scene in there. Caleb and Michael froze and turned to look at Laura holding her hips. We're sorry. We just got caught up with something. Both of them suddenly blabbered out. His grandmother passed away. What? Both of your grandmothers passed away? Yeah, we're cousins. But I thought you were from Wisconsin, and you were from Texas. Yeah, we're distant cousins, related through our grandmother. Alright, I don't know what's going on between you two, but I think I should get going. It's really late. How about we walk you home? Okay, I could really use a breath of fresh air. It was quite late. Not a lot of people were out, but there was a comforting breeze in the air. As the three walked down, Laura noticed a strange-looking man walking towards them, but she didn't feel worried. She was with 2 guys. Tonight really didn't turn out like I expected. It's alright, it was an experience. I actually knew a better place, but Caleb chose this one. Maybe next time? Suddenly, Laura froze as she heard a shout. Give me all your money, your bag, your jewelry. She widened her eyes seeing that strange man, and in his hands was an itsy-bitsy knife. Ha! Who are you gonna mug with that? You're in big trouble, she said as she turned to call Caleb and Michael, except she turned to see them far down the road. Oh no. The night turned out horribly wrong for a number of reasons that the guys would rather forget. Come the next morning, they were nervous and extremely lacking confidence when they arrived at the office. What would they tell Laura? They already looked like a fool. Hey, what happened to walking me home last night? You guys left me there to get mugged. It was Michael's idea. What? You're the Batman, why didn't you save her? Me? I was Bruce Wayne, I wasn't prepared, but I thought you were James Bond. You should have saved her. That's enough. I actually have some good news for you two. Mr. Campbell proposed to me. What? We're getting married. Oh, there he is, my soulmate. Laura hurried off to Terry, who had brought her flowers. Terry, these are beautiful. Not as beautiful as you, honey boo. Oh, Terry, you're so sweet. My Superman. Laura and Terry walked arms in arms into his office as Michael and Caleb stood there shocked to their core. Superman? They don't want a stud or a Prince Charming. They just want money. Pals before gals? You bet. Oh darn, this new software is so difficult. Would you mind sparing me a minute? Sorry Laura, I'm busy. Oh, okay, I'll see if Michael is free. I'm in the middle of something, Laura. Yikes, zero progress? Campbell's not gonna like that. What's wrong over here? Aren't you two supposed to be working? What's the chit-chat about? Terry, it's me. I've been having trouble with the new software. You mean you've been sitting here all day? Laura nervously looked at Campbell. Yeah, but don't worry, I'll see what I can do. It's okay, sweetheart. Take your time. What? She can't do anything, and she gets away with it. Well, I guess Campbell deserves a little payback. Now he's the fool. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.
Finally, the shift's over. Can't wait to get home. Lucky you. Who knows what I have waiting for me at home? This is Catherine. She works as a concierge at a 5-star hotel in Santa Monica. She made good money here and was pretty settled in her life. When she first came to the city, she moved into a small bungalow by the waterfront with 3 other roommates. It sure sounded nice waking up to the sounds of the waves, the seagulls every morning, but it wasn't. Catherine was going crazy living with a bunch of crazy women. Let's just take this morning, for example. Catherine had gotten up 1 hour early to get her outfit ready because a very famous author was to book in today and she had to be in her best to greet him. She hopped into the shower, dried off, searched for her perfume, but couldn't find it. Tried to put on some makeup, but her makeup kit was almost empty. And to much surprise, when she stepped out of her bathroom, her suit was missing too. Where's my suit? That's when she heard heels tapping outside and the front door slam shut. Boguslava. Catherine watched out the window as her roommate Boguslava strutted out wearing her designer Irvine Laurent suit. She should have known this was something Boguslava often did. Boguslava moved here from Russia, to follow her dreams of becoming a model. She was super gorgeous, really tall, and everything about her was picture perfect, except for the part that she was broke. She liked using all of Catherine's things, and having that heavy Russian accent made it difficult to communicate that Catherine wanted privacy. That is very nice dress. I will wear it tomorrow, okay, Kasarin? Oh no, Boguslava, I wish I could give it to you, but I have a party tomorrow. That is great idea, Kasarin. Wish granted. There are many rich men at the party. I wear this and come with you. Now, after an exhausting day, all Catherine wanted to do was return home and eat her leftover meatballs and spaghetti. Usually, Catherine would go home to find Saffron had ate all her food, but at least she found a way out of this one. Saffron was a fitness trainer, a counselor, and a vegan. Catherine had intentionally been eating non-veg all week, so no one was going to eat her meatballs today.
And if you're wondering, her name isn't really Saffron. It's Jennifer, but she likes to be called by the name of her inner earthly soul. Catherine slowly opened the door and sneaked in. She would just slip her lunchbox out and hurry into her room. But where was it? Hearing a noise, she turned to see Saffron slurping her spaghetti. Saffron, that has meat in it. Yeah, I know. But I thought you were vegan. Yeah, but it's my cheat day. Come on, you expect me to go vegan after all that workout? A vegan with a cheat day. Why didn't Catherine think of that? She sighed as she went to her room. Sometimes it felt like Juliet was easier to put up with than Boguslava or Saffron. She was the quiet, emo kid. She stayed in the darkness of her room and wrote dark poems about her difficult life. And to sum up her difficult life, Juliet was a rebel. She ran away from her parents' home and found her safe haven here, but even then, she hated her life. Catherine picked up her phone about to order some takeout when she got a call from Juliet. Catherine, I need some help. What happened? Where are you? I got arrested. Arrested? What did you do? And so Catherine drove out to the precinct. Turned out Juliet had gotten into a fight outside BIIRS for scaring children. What are you guys so happy about? Don't you see how worthless life is? Life is pain, life is suffering, life is crying in despair. Mom, she's weird. But that wasn't the only thing Catherine discovered at the precinct. You are the daughter of 2 millionaires? Your dad is a politician and your mom is a celebrity? And you're living here? You could be living in a mansion. You're rich. You have loving parents. What pain could you possibly have in your life? What were you thinking? Who says that to happy little kids walking out of a toy store? Just leave me alone. Can't you see I'm hurting? I'm sorry I'm not like you. I'm sorry I'm not a perfect southern small-town girl like you always wanted. I hate my life. And so you see, if things went on like this, Catherine was definitely going to go crazy. That's it. I'm never going to stay with girls again. I've had enough of the drama. So, the whole next week, Catherine looked through newspapers and advertisements and finally found a reasonable room for rent at an apartment. And first thing Saturday morning, she went to check it out. Are you here for the room? Yes, I'm Catherine Geller. Calvin, come in. I'll show you around. When Catherine stepped in, she was a bit confused to see the apartment was practically empty. Are you going to rent the apartment out to more tenants? No, just me. That's my bedroom. And you. That's your bedroom. We'll have to share the bathroom and the kitchen, but apart from that, you'll have your privacy. Catherine walked around the apartment, noticing a lot of paintings. Don't worry about these. I'll move them out of the way. No, that's all right. I hope you don't mind me asking. What do you do? I'm an artist. This is actually some of my work, and I also work a part-time job at an electronics store. You painted all these? Catherine liked the place, and Calvin seemed like a nice guy. He didn't have any furniture, but that wasn't really a problem, was it? There was more space for Catherine's stuff. And so, in just a few days, Catherine moved in. Calvin had been kind enough to help her out and bring up all her boxes and furniture. Thanks for everything. It's no problem. By the way, where's all of your furniture? I don't really watch TV, so I didn't get a couch. That's not weird, is it? I guess not, but is it okay if I use the space? Go ahead, it's laying empty anyways. Living with Calvin was great. There was no waiting for the bathroom for hours or having your clothes stolen in the morning. But some things about Calvin were really strange. Like the fact that Catherine just saw him take a whole bagload of ice to his room. What was that for?
And the first morning at the apartment, she walked out to the kitchen seeing Calvin slide some toast off of an iron.
Did you just toast your bread on an iron? Calvin picked up an egg. Yeah, you can even poach eggs on it.
Catherine stopped for a minute to soak it all in.
She searched through her boxes and took out her kitchen set. Well, you can use an iron for that, but you can also use a fry pan. I know it's not as artistic or fancy like your way, but it's the traditional way, she said, handing him the pan. You know, I don't really use those, but that's not a bad idea. Catherine went off to work, but she couldn't stop thinking about what she saw that morning. When she got home, she looked around the kitchen and realized not only did Calvin not have furniture, he didn't have anything except for a single plate and a glass. And again, Catherine watched as Calvin took another bagload of ice to his room. She saw him fill 10 ice trays in the morning. Did he take them with him to bed every night? She followed after him and peeked a glance before she knocked on the door. Calvin, what are you going to do with all that ice? Calvin froze for a minute before he pointed to the fan across from his bed, and in front of it, a bucket load of ice. Don't ask, the air conditioner broke a couple months back, so I figured this would work too. Does it? Catherine stood in front of the fan. This is pretty cool, literally. That's the point. Calvin was the ultimate improviser. He knew how to make his way around everything. Unfortunately, Catherine wasn't. And on the next weekend, she broke out of her savings and bought a TV, a couch, and a toaster. And to much surprise, after setting everything up, she saw Calvin plop right down and turn on the TV. Oh, the new episode of Wayne the Huntsman is on. I thought you didn't watch TV. Oh yeah, I don't. I saw a poster. Never mind. Wait, aren't you gonna watch it? I like this show too. Over the days seeing Calvin, Catherine picked out a few DIYs for herself. And one morning, while she was cleaning up, she stumbled upon a few letters, magazines, and junk mail that had piled over the week. She looked through them to see if she had any, but she stopped at a bill. There were art supplies, brushes, paints, canvases. He spends this much money on this? Catherine finally understood Calvin wasn't the ultimate improviser because he liked it, but because he prioritized his passion more. And that salary working at BII Electronics wasn't going to pay for the bill she just saw. When Catherine admired Calvin for his work, he was really talented. She started going through some drawings of his when suddenly he showed up. Your work is really good. How long have you been doing this? It's been years. I actually have a master's in arts. Alright, you don't have to show off. I only have a bachelor's, okay? Later that day, Catherine went out to run some errands and picked up some pizza before she got home. But when she opened the door that night, she got a whiff of something odd. Calvin was in the kitchen again, cracking open a can of tuna and microwaving some potatoes. Catherine watched as he dipped a spoon inside the can and stuffed a scoop of raw tuna in his mouth. That's what you're going to have for dinner? Raw tuna? You can always heat it up on the iron. Wanna have some? I actually got some pizza. You wanna share it with me? I don't think I'll be able to finish it anyways. Sure. Catherine and Calvin watched some shows and gobbled down their pizza. And soon enough, this started to become a usual in the apartment. It was nice getting to sit with someone and eat, and before long, Catherine and Calvin became good friends. It was one evening when Catherine returned home from work, however, that she found Calvin sitting on the couch holding his head. What's wrong, Calvin? He sighed as he picked up his painting from the table. I spent so much making this, getting this up at the gallery, but they didn't even give it a second look. Your work is great, Calvin. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll get noticed. It won't, because this world runs on nepotism. Talent doesn't matter these days. What matters is if you have connections with influential people. They'll recognize their work because they're the son of a big artist or celebrity. And I'm a nobody. Calvin got up and threw the canvas on the floor. There's no point of doing this, he said as he stormed off to his room. Catherine stood there a bit shocked, seeing Calvin so upset. Maybe there was something she could do with it. The next day, Catherine took the painting to the hotel, where she spoke to the manager about getting it hung up in the lobby. All right. Throughout the day, many people stopped to take a look. But it was sometime in the afternoon, one of the guests stopped in front of it for quite some time before he went to the reception. Excuse me, may I know whose painting this is? Just 1 minute, sir. I'll have to ask the manager. Catherine hurried to see the matter. May I help you? Yes, I'm Jason Vanderbilt, owner of the Vanderbilt Design Company. I couldn't help but notice this painting. Would you be able to tell me the artist? It's absolutely amazing. This isn't a regular showpiece. I actually got this from a friend. He's a painter, and this is just one of his many works. Could you arrange an appointment with him? Absolutely. Mr. Vanderbilt was quite impressed with Calvin's paintings, and after looking through his portfolio, he wanted to buy the piece for an unbelievable price. Mr. Ross, I'd like to launch your work at the BII galleries. Your paintings have a lot of potential, and I'm sure the art world would appreciate to see these. Thank you, Mr. Vanderbilt. This really means a lot to me. When Calvin's paintings were showcased at the BII gallery, not only did many people praise his work, but he started to make a lot of money from the ones he sold to rich businessmen, critics, and art fanatics. But now with the new fame, it seemed that Calvin barely had any spare time anymore. Calvin, I got some takeout. You want to have dinner together? Sorry, Catherine, I actually have to go to this meeting. I'll probably eat out. Oh, okay. Hey Calvin, Wayne the Huntsman is on again. You want to watch? I'm kind of in the middle of something, maybe later? But it had been almost a month and Calvin was either busy with his clients or busy in his room. They didn't even have the time to talk. However, one night Calvin came to Catherine. These are tickets to the exhibition at the gallery. All my paintings are gonna be up. I'd really like if you come. Sure, I'd love to. Catherine was more than excited to go. She dressed her best and arrived there that special evening. But the gallery was packed with people, rich folks, reporters, journalists. Catherine just barely managed to wave at Calvin. But he didn't even notice her. I love your work, Calvin. Maybe you can show me some of your more personal works. Yeah, maybe someday. I'd like to take you out sometime. How about dinner at the BII Lounge this Friday? Sounds nice, but I'll have to check my schedule. Catherine walked out of the crowd as she picked up a drink and watched. Calvin was now surrounded by women. Catherine was happy for him, but at the same time, she felt unhappy. Was it because she had fallen in love with him? Catherine realized she had never opened up to him, and there was no point of confessing to him now. He was famous. He didn't have time for someone like Catherine anymore. She spent the evening by herself, walking around admiring his paintings, until the lights suddenly dimmed out and Catherine could hear the host speak on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to reveal the grand showcase, Mr. Calvin Ross's latest work. The painting we have all been eager to see. Everyone turned their gaze to the front as the silken sheets were pulled off the canvas. This is incredible, Mr. Ross. Please share a few words with us. What inspired you to make this? As Calvin took the microphone, Catherine walked through the crowds to get a glimpse, when she suddenly froze upon what she heard. Catherine, are you here? Everyone started to look around the crowd.
That's the woman in the painting.
I'd like everyone present here, everyone watching us, to know my success is because of her. She was the one that believed in me. She was the one who supported me, and tonight, I want to confess that I had fallen in love with you from the very first day I saw you, but I never had the courage to tell you. Catherine's heart raced as Calvin walked off the stage and took out a ring in front of her. But tonight, I want to let you know it's you I want to be with for the rest of my life. Catherine, will you marry me? Under the spotlight, surrounded by so many people eager to hear her words, Catherine said, "I will."
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.